Welcome into All Things LA Real Estate. My name is PK Knoll. We're heading out to Mount Washington for the October real estate update. Happy Halloween to everyone out there. We got some monumental things to go over when it comes to Mount Washington. We're going to break down everything you need to know about the neighborhood. Great little spot, high home prices, usually around the $1.2, $1.3 million range. Sits just south of Eagle Rock there on this east side. Very popular neighborhood. We're going to break everything down for you. Current statistics, month over month, year over year. We'll look at the end of the video when we go into homes that have caught my eye. We try and find you some value in the neighborhood. You got to stick around for this one. Let's go. To start things off, we're going to look at the current situation in Mount Washington. We have a little bit of positive notes with some caveat on top of it, but we've got the highest inventory available in the neighborhood that we've seen in quite some time at 19 homes available for sale. If you've been following along, we're at 11, 14, 14, so we're up to 19, so we're starting to see a tick up on the inventory side. That's usually a huge positive in this real estate market, but you're about to find out in the next segment why that number is jumping. 3 of those homes have seen price drops. Only 16% of the homes, I say only because we were seeing 20 and 30% price drops across the east side. So a low number for the Mount Washington area, which might also influence some of the things we're going to get into. Minimum price to get in the neighborhood right now, $599K. We're going to talk about that home in the final segment of the video. Top end home that's familiar to us, $1.999, $999. We will talk about the top end as well. Average home price right now available for sale, $1.266, $778. That number in Mount Washington is staying consistent. Days on market's 28. That's the lowest on the east side. We're seeing a lot of markets get up to that 60-day mark. That's probably why we're only sitting at 16% for the price drops. It's typically the 60-day mark when it comes to days on market that really influence things. That's when home sellers are like, hey, I need to unload this house and move on with my life. Let's lower the price to bring in some extra buyers, but we just aren't seeing those days on the market skyrocket just yet, but it could be looming as we get into next month's update. Subscribe to the channel if you want to continue and follow along with Mount Washington. October of 2022, we had 11 homes sell, 105% clip, meaning on average, 5% over the list price. If I'm a homeowner, that's one of the metrics that I watch to see if my home's appreciating. If I'm a home buyer, the main aspect with that is it gives me some insight as far as where I should come in with my offers if I really want to obtain a house, because on average, back in October of 2022, it was 5% to get that deal done. But let's jump over to last month where we got some wild stuff going down in Mount Washington. A monumental September for Mount Washington. I had to check over and over and over to make sure it wasn't some type of system failure. But in September in Mount Washington, we had 0 homes sell, 0 homes close in the month of September. Crazy numbers. Now, we do have 8 under contract, 3 pending, but that's just how the real estate market kind of sheds itself out. To have 0 closed sales is a terrible thing. It's probably a good reason why we see the highest inventory at 19 right now. It's because we didn't have any transactions close out last month. I expect the days on market to jump when we get into the November update next month. Subscribe to the channel. But to have 0 sales is not good for Mount Washington. It is a crazy statistic. I cannot believe it. We look into September of 2022, so just a year ago, in that same month, we had 13 homes sell at 104% clip. So obviously that's a 100% decline year over year. So wild stuff there with Mount Washington. I expect maybe that'll trickle over October. We'll keep an eye on it to see if it does. But let's jump over to homes that have caught my eye and see if any of these homes out in the market got some value for you, the buyer. Homes that have caught my eye. Here's what we're going to get into. We're going to talk about the entry level. What's the minimum price, the floor to get into the neighborhood? We'll talk about PK's top pick. That's where I break down the best value play in the neighborhood. If you're a buyer out there right now looking, you need to find a home that has stability of appreciation, because that you don't want to fall underwater on your loan when you're going to pay such a high interest rate. That interest rate is going to be around for a while. Jerome Powell has made it very clear that these high rates are probably here until inflation gets down to 2%, but consumers have decided they're not going to stop spending, so it could be a while till that occurs. Then we'll look at the top end. What's the ceiling look like in the neighborhood for all of you home buyers out there if you're trying to be the top dog? But let's start with the entry level. First off, I did want to touch base on 3516 Tacoma Avenue. That was our minimum price last month. It has sold. It was listed for $799K. We love the comps. We love the neighborhood. It sold for $895. So $96K over the list price. No surprise there, but that home is long gone. Our new low in the neighborhood right now is 450 James Street. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 532 square feet. So not a big house here. $599K is the list price. $1,125 per square foot. That's very high for this price point, but you're just not going to see homes sell for under $500K, especially in the Mount Washington neighborhood. But I'd like to see that number typically closer to $800 in this price range. The lot's okay, $3,769. One weird thing about the description of this home is MLS wise, actually, city ordinance. This is in Mount Washington. The description explains it to be Cypress Park, which is probably a marketing error, right? Because if you're somebody who follows along with this east side, the average home price in Mount Washington is like 1.1 to 1.3 on average. In Cypress Park, it's like 900K to 1 million. So I'm not sure why you would market it as Cypress Park. As a little back dirt hill. The comps, there was a 2-1 676 that sold for 445K. So almost 100K less, very similar size here. I will say, though, the one positive kind of light to this one is if you go just one street over, there's homes that have sold for 1 million, 1.6, 1.5. So if you can come in, maybe build it out a little bit, improve the structure of the home, maybe there's some opportunities there. But we'll keep our eye on this one. Let's jump over to PK's top pick. Quickly touching on last month's 4659 Jessica Drive. That was the one listed for 1.349. Every home, we like the home based off the comps, the neighborhood. Every home that is sold or been listed in that neighborhood directly has been between 1.3, 1.5, which makes us feel fine at 1.349. So we are not surprised that this is under contract, but we're going to keep our eye on it because we do have a record number of homes that are falling out of escrow once they're under contract. A lot of that comes, if you're a home buyer and you got qualified months ago, make sure you're checking in with your lender again, because things continually change and you don't want to lose it 25, 30 days into a contract position. So our new favorite play right now is 527 Vista Glorissa Drive, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,523 square feet, listed for just a smidge under $1 million at $999, $656 per square foot. Love that number. 9332 is the lot. That's the third biggest in all of Mount Washington. So you got a beautiful yard for under $1 million. It's a 1938 Spanish colonial. Do not be, do not fear the 1938 number. Many of the East Side homes were built in the early part of the century, 1920s, 1930s. The one thing that's also attractive here is the comps. We had a 3-3 2021 that sold for 1.6 million. So bigger, about 500 square feet more, extra bathroom here, but a lot of wiggle room there with 600K. There was also a 3-3 1824, so about 300 extra square feet there. That one sold for 1.525. So there's definitely potential to make, move into this house, live there 5, 7, 10 years, take on a project every year, make the kind of simple improvements. You could definitely see a home that has some stability from an appreciation point. And if, things change and you decide to sell down the line, there's really good opportunities for this home to be a stable investment for you as a homeowner. Let's finish things off with the top dog. Last month, 3726 Glen Albin. That was listed for 1.999. That was a gorgeous 3-story home. They lowered the price 100K since the video, and now they've withdrawn it. So they are probably rethinking their marketing plan, rethinking what they're doing. Maybe it was a homeowner who had kids who was trying to move out over the summer, and now that school has started, they've decided to put things on hold to see if rates drop and maybe they're sticking around for another year. Maybe they're doing home improvements to the house to try and make it more attractive to home buyers. You get into the $2 million range. You're getting rid of a lot of buyers who can't afford to finance that. So you're probably looking for cash buyers, which is about 33% of the market right now. But we'll see. The top dog now is 5163 Palmero Drive, 4 bedrooms, 5 bath, 2150 square feet, listed for $1.999, $999, $930 per square foot. We're cool with that, right? We like numbers between 4 and 7 when it's mid to under $1 million. We get up in the $2 million range. If the house is nice, you can typically get $1,000 per square foot. We've seen homes that are much higher priced than that. But the lot's huge, $11,150. Very sharp house, open floor plans, got great views from this house. Great yard, little fire pit there as well. There's also a guest house in the back. You can get that permitted and turn it into an ADU if that's something that you're interested in. The only concerning point, the only hesitation here is we've only had one sale in the neighborhood for $2 million. It was a 4.4 3940 that sold for 2.175. So not a ton of transactions in Mount Washington in this neighborhood at that $2 million mark. But outside of that, a beautiful home. I anticipate this home gets some looks and probably gets an offer if it can kind of come through. But, if we look at the Glen Albin home, it had to pull off the market at basically the same price point. So I'll keep you updated next month. Stick around for that. Thank you so much for watching the video. We do this every single month for almost every neighborhood on the east side. We're doing Pasadena, Silver Lake, Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Glendale, La Cañada, El Sereno, Cypress Park. The list goes on and on. So like and subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined. If you're somebody who's looking to purchase a home on the east side of Los Angeles or sell your home, I am happy to help out with you. Reach out to me. You can send me a direct message online, or all of my phone numbers are listed. Even if you're somebody who's hesitant with 7% interest rates, that puts us in the same boat. It always helps to start preparing for future opportunities because you don't want to miss the boat there. We will tread lightly. We will look for value, and we will get it done. I also do a ton of other videos. I get into the schools. I get into, the restaurants in the neighborhood. I get into the attractions in the neighborhood. I do some other fun videos like quick cribs. So once again, like and subscribe if you are so inclined. Have a great day. Be kind. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.